But they have these videos now. They have these videos, okay, and they're actively looking at it. So Amy Ashworth wants to hide and conceal. I mean, a delegate probed into Mustafa's case. A delegate from Virginia Beach.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. 2 years ago.
She probed into Mustafa's case, and the response she got from Commonwealth Attorney Amy Ashworth is, "You don't know what I know." Oh, wait, and I can't tell you what I know because I've sealed it. It's under a protective order. It's under a judge seal, and I can't even give you what's on it, but trust me, it's bad.
Well, Commonwealth Attorney...
I mean, that's BS.
At the time, that's what Commonwealth Attorney Amy Ashworth does. Anytime anybody probe into these cases, the Mostafa Aljazari case, the Tatiana David case, the other cases, she tells you, you don't know what I have. You don't know what I'm building my cases on. Well, today's a different kind of conversation because the cases are no longer sealed. They're all over the internet. Now, when you find out that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is using individuals, in the Mostafa Aljazari case, is using individuals that are manufacturing probable cause. Now, a lot of people will ask, what does that mean, manufacturing probable cause? Lying in the Mostafa Aljazari case. Now, how do you know that? You ask me, how do you know they're lying in the Mostafa Aljazari case? How do you know that individuals are being used that are lying in this case? Well, when you open those body cams that are sealed, that now they're on the internet, each individuals that are brought into this case tell you, we were not there. As a matter of fact, the star witness goes as far as say, Mustafa doesn't even know me.
He says Mustafa doesn't know me. And
that's the star witness, Glenn Ford.
And he also admits to committing sexual crimes against a minor. I find it really interesting that the police are not interested in pursuing Glenn Ford, who admits that he was drugging and sleeping with a minor, one of Dorothy's daughters.
Right. That's right. A private investigator got involved into this case and sat down with Glenn Ford. And on a recorded line, Glenn Ford, the star witness in the Mostafa Aljazari case, is admitting to sexual crimes.
Yeah.
Now, when you find out, I mean, election is coming up, and the Commonwealth Attorney is backing up Jay Jones, the person that's running against Jason Myers. Mohammed, I really want you to see this video. There's a video that's on the news, an ad that's coming up for the person that's running against Jason Myers as the Attorney General. And the hypocrisy here, that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, in that ad says, I'm backing up Jay Jones because he's tough on sex offenders. He's tough on pedophiles. Well, when you find out that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is using an individual, her star witness in the Mostafa Aljazari case, is a pedophile. And he admitted on a recorded line that he sleeps with a drugs and sleeps with a 16-year-old. Amy Ashworth doesn't want this community to know this, but we're going to play a recording where Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, star witness, on a recorded line, admit that he's a pedophile. So the real question is, Amy Ashworth wants to tell this community that she's backing up Jay Jones.
You take that?
Because he's tough on pedophiles, but she's using a pedophile in the Mustafa to prosecute Mostafa Aljazari.
By the way, I just sent you, this is like the updated list, the updated version of what's going on with Glenn Ford.
All right, so let's take a look.
He was charged with public intoxication.
Go over to exhibits.
Public intoxication. This is on, let's see, what date was this? This was on the 2nd of May, 2024.
All right.
Okay. And the other one is possession of Schedule 2 or Schedule 1 drug. And that's also on the 2nd of May. By the way, there was other charges. He had brandishing a firearm on the same day.
Yeah.
And the other charge was intent to distribute. Okay? I mean, this gives you a glimpse into what Amy Ashworth is willing to allow in order to get someone who's a pedophile to come in and testify about Mustafa. I mean, you read at the bottom, it says, no, prosecute. So they did not prosecute Glenn Ford. He brandished a weapon. He was drunk, and he had drugs, and they charged him with intent to distribute. Okay? In addition, on social media, you have a recording where he admitted that when Dorothy was living with him, as well as Kylie, who's the 16-year-old at the time, that he was giving her mushrooms, he was giving her drugs, and he would wake up with Kylie, a 16-year-old, in his bed.
We're going to play that recording.
He was sleeping with a minor. I mean, imagine you tell somebody that an adult, okay, a 40-some-year-old guy is drugging and sleeping with his girlfriend's daughter. That's crazy. You're drugging a minor and sleeping with her. He admits to it on video.
On a recorded line, he admitted to drugging and sleeping with a 16-year-old.
And Amy Ashworth is not interested in prosecuting. She's not even interested in looking into it. The police are not interested in looking into it because there's a narrative that says this guy is our star witness. Okay, what does Rob Davis tell Glenn Ford? He tells him, we need you to get Mustafa off the street.
We need to get our ducks in a row. We need you, Glenn Ford. We need to get Mustafa off the street. And the question is, why are they after Mustafa? Whatever it takes, they have to get Mustafa. The details that are coming out of this case, this is a car accident.
Look, going back to Jay Jones, okay, Amy Ashworth is saying she's supporting Jay Jones because he's tough on sex offenders, right? You have a sex offender right there where Amy Ashworth is protecting him.
Well, let me play the ad for you.
She's protecting him. When she does not prosecute these charges, it's because she doesn't want him to have a criminal background so that when he comes in to testify, she tells the jury, this is a clean person. This is a member of this community who has no criminal. I mean, look at the charges.
This came up in Mustafa's defense attorney put that in a Brady. This was a Brady violation that was filed yesterday. One of the Brady violations that went through is Commonwealth Amy Ashworth looking into her witnesses.
She's not only not looking into them, she's protecting criminals.
Extensive criminal history. And in one of the in some body cams, you have Glenn Ford with the other star witness, the 16-year-old that he's sleeping with, went into Mustafa's apartment.
Oh, that's right.
Cleaned up the whole apartment.
They stole Dorothy's property, and he pawned it off. And when he pawned it, he put in the wrong address. And what do we find in these videos? We find body cams where officers are responding to an address. Some guy comes out and he's like, I never went to a pawn shop. You're telling me somebody used my address on a pawn slip? And the officer is like, that's the address that was on the pawn slip for Glenn Ford.
So I have a body cam.
So he's not only selling stolen material from an alleged crime scene. Prosecutor Sammy wants to say this is first-degree murder. This is premeditated murder. And you're telling me the apartment that belongs to Dorothy, her items were stolen by the ex-boyfriend and pawned off? He used a fake address?
I mean, the question is, why is it...
Did they charge him with that, by the way?
Mustafa's being charged with murder. Now, you're charging Mustafa with murder, and you're not preserving the apartment and the items in the apartment. The reason that's relevant is not only did they remove everything from the apartment, when you find out what's in the apartment, you'll realize why this is relevant. There's a Google Nest video inside the apartment.
There's Google Nest camera. There's a light bulb camera. I mean, Dorothy had an Alexa system in her apartment. Where is all that equipment?
Glenn Ford and the 16-year-old went into the apartment, removed the cameras inside the apartment.
They stole it.
Kylie admits, I have a record. She got online and she said, I went into the apartment. I took everything.
And she's not on the lease.
I have that on the recording.
She's not on the lease, by the way.
The police gave them access.
The police gave them access.
Well, take a while. Guess who gave them access? Which police officer?
Romero.
Investigator Romero, the same Investigator Romero that's now on a Brady violation for weaponizing the children against Mustafa before they were walked into the forensic interview. And when you say weaponize the children, what did Investigator Romero, what did the child say in the forensic interview? The child is saying it. That investigator told him that Mustafa ran away.
He fled the scene after the accident.
Left my 5-year-old baby sister to bleed to death. Wait a minute. And they could have saved her if Mustafa hadn't run away. Mustafa was in a coma. Mustafa was in a coma.
He was airlifted.
Mustafa was airlifted to the
from
hospital.
the accident scene.
So when you have Investigator Romero lying to these children that are 9, 10,
That's
14,
child abuse.
That's child abuse.
I mean, a child that just
Now-
lost his mother is now being told a fake story by the detective only to weaponize that child, only to hurt that child for him to get a negative response. I mean, you're talking about a delicate child. I mean, the mind of a child. He just lost his mother.
So I go back to the children that are being used in this case. They're weaponized. They're being abused. They're weaponized against Mustafa. Now, it's relevant to know that the Commonwealth Attorney is using individuals that are witnesses in this case. She's calling them witnesses. Glenn Ford, the ex-boyfriend, 16-year-old Kylie,
Can I just say something
who
about-
went into the apartment and stole the cameras inside the apartment. Only to weaponize the children and now use them against Mustafa. But they've deleted the Google Nest video inside the apartment.
That you have today, by the way.
That we have, that Commonwealth Amy Ashworth is terrified that we got our hand on the Google Nest. That shows it's a beautiful relationship.
Let me add this, by the way.
That Mustafa loved the kids, loved his girlfriend. It's a beautiful relationship.
You have an hour body cam where Rob Davis and Investigator Cruz are inside of Glenn Ford's apartment, and they're conducting an hour-long interview with Glenn Ford.
That's right.
You know what I find really interesting is that there's another body cam where they visited a random address and they're asking, is this Glenn Ford's apartment or is this Glenn Ford's address? The guy comes out and he's like, no, I've lived here for years. What do you mean, Glenn Ford? Like, what? Why are you guys here? And they say your address was used in a pawn slip. That's the pawn slip
Where
Glenn Ford stole Dorothy's property with the help of Investigator Romero.
Investigator Romero.
Okay.
And Investigator Romero said, I'm gonna tell Robert Drum, the main investigator, to give you access into the apartment.
Here's the issue.
Robert Drum is the one that falsified Mustafa's statement. Romero weaponizes the children, and now they're giving those individuals access to the apartment to delete the cameras inside the house.
Let me tell you, here's the issue.